Alright, today we are playing Jetpac, which is a game for the ZX Spectrum that was made in the 80s. That copyright says 2005 because this is basically a perfect recreation of the original game. Because I, for the life of me, cannot get a ZX Spectrum emulator running. As far as I can tell, this is exactly the same as the actual game. So we press 5 and we start the game. So this was one of the most popular games for the ZX Spectrum. I can only assume this is because this is back before they knew what video games were. So, as you can see, there's just fire everywhere, and your goal is to repair a rocket. So you take the thing and you dodge all of the debris. And then there's things. Is that a game over? No, okay. So once you've gotten all of the rocket pieces, then you gotta collect the fuel. This is the game. Like, all of it, by the way. Start the game. The blob, I guess, is for the score. And space lets you shoot shit. Get the radioactive symbol. Where's the... Thank you. Sounds great, though, doesn't it? I mean, yeah, I get that this is before PC games were really able to have, like, music. But that doesn't help it be more playable today. And, of course, you gotta just land right back down where you came from. Technically, you're on another planet now, I guess. So I guess this was inspiration for No Man's Sky, where you just do a bunch of pointless shit to get your rocket ready so you can fly onto another planet and do more pointless shit. Of course, we fight off all of the fuzzies. Like, just because a game was popular way back when doesn't mean it lives up today. And unlike Legend of Zelda, I don't really have much sympathy for this game. It's the same screen, just different enemies. And I mean, if this was one of the best-selling games on the ZX Spectrum, it makes me wonder, what's with the rest of it? Hopefully I can find at least one good game on the ZX Spectrum by the end of this. Yeah, and yeah, even if the... honestly, it's kind of hard to shoot everything. I mean, for an arcade-style game, it's not really that fun. Like, there are plenty of great arcade games that are just one screen, like Pac-Man, for instance. And honestly, if you somehow are in a time machine and you end up back in the 1980s, you could probably have a lot more fun just downloading, or not downloading, but finding a shareware arcade game clone or something. You know, if you're too busy to get the 1.21 gigawatts that you need to get back home. I mean, the controls are smooth. I assume that they're exactly the same as they were back then. Considering this is just about as close a recreation as we're going to get. And honestly, if the controls were worse in the original, that doesn't pose the game's favor. I'm doing it a favor by playing a recreation in that regard. But I will give it the benefit of the doubt. One-player game. 2. Instructions. The Acme Interstellar Transport Company is delivering a spaceship kits to various planets in the solar system throughout the galaxy. And as chief test pilot, all you have to do is assemble the rockets and thrust onto your next destination. But, as you don't often get the chance for a free trip across the galaxy, and space travel is oh so expensive, now's your chance to get rich. You might just as well stop off on several planets on your journey and collect the odd sack of precious gems, elements, or gold, and then take them back with you. Sounds simple, doesn't it? But before you go and make yourself the richest person in the whole universe, you must remember to refuel your spaceship every time you land on a planet with 6 fuel pods. Any other goodies you collect are yours to keep. Universe isn't capitalized. Upon landing, you will find yourself equipped with the very latest hydrovac jetpack, which can automatically airlift almost any rocket stage, fuel pod, or valuables you care to land upon and release them over the rocket ship base, plus mega powerful quad photon laser phasers to blast any nasty mean little aliens who might object to your visit. And my, do those aliens get upset when you collect all of their valuables and sneak off without so much as a bye or leave. The British idioms or sayings. These are supposed to be aliens. They look like comets or something. I hate when something spawns near the edge because, like, you're probably gonna get yourself killed, you know? Come on. Why does something always drop down when I'm about to leave? It's... Come on. Let me out. Thank you. Alright. Okay, I think I'm safer up here. That didn't hit me. Come on. Okay, that did hit me. I can't even get past level 2. Oh, I'm not done yet. I guess I got an extra life somehow. But, quite honestly, I played Atari games that are more fun than this. Can I? No, I can't just restart. Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, is there a point to going on? I don't know. Jetpack's obviously a no. I mean, I will admit it's going to be very hard for 80s games like this to really appeal to me. But, like, I feel confident saying this is a no. May have been the king of its time, but, let's just leave it at that. It was the king of its time. And the only reason you'd ever play this game is to appreciate how far we've come away from it. Hit detection's a little bit loose, I guess. The enemy's hitboxes, especially above and below, seem a little bit larger than they should be. Although that does make it easier to hit them, so I guess it's kind of fair in a sense. I guess it has that old Defender color palette, which is always a delight. I don't know. These specific colors in old arcade games and such, they really do appeal to me. And I just noticed that the platforms look like floating caterpillars. Are those supposed to be the aliens we're taking things from? Which, I mean, is another aspect of the game that probably hasn't aged very well. It sounds very colonial to just land on a planet and take people's shit and just kill them all. Because you desperately want to take their shit. I mean, I'm not saying that's a criticism towards the game or anything. It's just a sign of how our sensibilities have changed. Nowadays, we ask questions about the aliens that we shoot at in video games. Go, go, go! We go! Oh, I just realized, on the rocket, it says, you won. Alright, level 3. Ah! The bubbles! Okay, so every time you clear a planet, that seems to be what gives you an extra life. Yeah. So I don't really know why I'm continuing. I don't think this game has an endpoint. It doesn't look like the kind that does have an endpoint. But I'll see how far I can get. I mean, it's definitely a better experience I'm having than I did playing Space Draft, which was probably going to give me a fucking seizure at some point. Although, I do want to get out of space at some point in the near future. I've been playing enough space games lately, and enough shooters. Let's see. We kill all of the fuzzy things, and we take their diamonds, I guess. Of course, you have to put it next to the wall. That's the perfect place for it. That is probably the biggest weakness of the game, that they will occasionally spawn fuels and items next to the walls where the enemies spawn. Come on, come on. Grab the booger. They're getting antsy. Come on. Bubbles! And of course they put the fuel in the exact same... Okay. Oh. For some reason I got 2 extra lives. Not that it helped. Yeah, I don't even know why I'm really carrying on with this. When it's in the corner, it's almost like you're fucking screwed. God damn it. Who made this game anyway? Like, is there a little bit of information we can get? As soon as Wikipedia loads, I'll figure out. Jetpac. Yeah. Developed by Ultimate Play the Game, which is, interesting. Interesting name for your company, I guess. I just want to see if there's anything I'm missing, you know? But, like, I mean, like... Donkey Kong had multiple arcade boards. Miss Pac-Man did. They both came out before this. And I believe the PCs at the time were more powerful than arcades. Go, go, go. Fly away. One game of the year. And there are 8 levels total, then it just repeats. So, yeah. Yep. Let's see. Spawn 2 sequels. Lunar Jetman and Solar Jetman Hunt for Golden Warship. Oh, so first game to be released by the company who was later known as Rare. So this is, I guess, where Rare started. We all gotta start somewhere, I guess. So apparently it was in Donkey Kong 64, a game I haven't played. Just kill me now. And I'm assuming that you need to beat this game in Donkey Kong 64 to 100% complete the game. Fuck the diamond. Oh, you put the fuel over there? What the fuck? Come on. Why do you keep doing this to me? The fact that this fuel can spawn at the very edge is definitely the absolute factor that makes this a no. Like, if it wasn't for anything else, that would be the fatal flaw. Not saying the fuel should always just spawn on the platforms, but it should not spawn in the walls. It doesn't matter where you are, sometimes it just spawns right on top of you like that. One more. Thank you. It was praised on its presentation and accessibility, playability, which makes me very much curious about the other games at the time. I guess the other games at the time were like text-based RPGs and shit, which, yeah, I wouldn't call them accessible if my life depended on it. I mean, like, on some level, maybe I can understand why this game is in the book, but on every other level, it's definitely not understandable. Like, playing this for 2 minutes, you can see that it has not aged well at all. And I'm going to treat this like an arcade game, where getting an extra life is all I need for it to be complete. Okay, now I don't have any extra lives. Why? What? Okay, what exactly did I do to get extra lives? I don't know. Go away, Bubbles. It showed I had 0 extra lives before I died the first time, and then, huh. Maybe I should start getting into the longer games again. Play something interesting, you know? I mean, there are still a couple of Zelda games that are maybe on my level. Actually, I think the only Zelda game that I need to really take a look at before I determine if it's a yes or no is the Minish Cap. I think that's the last maybe on my list. Either that or... I believe that and Link's Awakening. Every other Zelda game on the list I know already if it's a yes or a no. Keep in mind, I like both of those games, but I like the original Legend of Zelda 2, so... it depends on what the playthrough says, I guess. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. How are you supposed to, like, what are you supposed to do? Besides get over there when you have enough blinking time. Okay, doop-de-doop-de-doop. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, I played Ikaruga. Why the fuck am I having trouble dodging this shit? I just gotta focus on the game, you know? I think we're done. Like, I'm pretty sure that we're just, you know, done. There's nothing more to experience on this one.